Now that we've had fun shooting our black powder rifle, we need to clean it now. I'm going to show you the method that I use to clean my black powders. You're going to need your cleaning kit, patches, a rod that is long enough to clean your barrel, tools to disassemble your rifle, and of course oil. And down here I have 2 containers of hot soapy water. Start disassembling our rifle. Okay, first things first, I'm going to remove the ramrod that is on the gun. I don't use the ramrod to clean because it's tapped for something metric. And all my cleaning tools are standard thread, and on this one, if you don't remove the ramrod, it'll be you'll take a chunk out of it because this bolt actually has a semicircular cutout in it for the ramrod to pass further back down here. India quality. Okay, second, gonna take my Chinesium screwdriver and loosen my flint. I always take my flint out because I always redress it if I need. I find, you see, it's all suited up. It's easier to clean. If I need to replace the leather because the leather's dry, brittle, what have you, it's a good opportunity to do it now. And if it was loose, I'll catch it. Like right now, it took no effort to loosen this. So another shot or two and my flint could have just went flying off. Okay, now that we have those separated, disassemble, or not disassemble the lock, but separate the lock from the stock. I said this one, it's got that half moon cut out there. If you love your guns, do not use a Chinese screwdriver on them. Get a proper set of screwdrivers. So this gun was made in India, so it's pretty junk, so I treat it like junk. That's not true. I love all my guns. I just don't care if this one gets anything. Okay, we have our lock separated. See, the pan's dirty, the bottom of the frizzen's dirty. And on the inside here, a little bit of powder fouling got down in here. So I'll clean that up. Next, I'll remove the barrel. I always remove the barrel to clean. So we will remove the tang bolt right after I let Maximus Bastardos in the room. And so I don't get that bolt confused with these, I'm going to place them back in the lock for now. Take our super fancy, not a tiny Phillips screwdriver to push out these barrel pins. And when it comes to firearms, there's a standard. All pins are always driven in. This might be reversed for you. This is my left hand, left side of the gun. All pins are always driven in from left to right. So when you remove them, it's right to left. Take it out, put it back in a little bit. And remove the barrel from the stock. Now, I always remove the barrel from the stock for 2 reasons. 1, it makes cleaning the barrel easier later, as you'll see. And 2, you don't get water down into your barrel channel or on your wood where it can sit and rust it. And 2, if there's powder fouling on your wood here, which mine always does, you can clean that out. So now that we have the barrel off, I'm going to push these pins back in halfway so that way they don't get lost, and we will set our stock pins up. Down. Next, we will clean the barrel. I clean a bit differently than everyone else. I don't use a cleaning jag. I use this wire ropey looking brush to get all the buildup out and the heavy crud. Then I use a soft copper bristle brush to help pull all the loose stuff out. And then I will use this to grasp my patches and use this to run my patches in the barrel. And this gun has what's called a patent breech, where the breech plug is counterbored a little bit, and a 30 caliber brass jag cleans that out pretty nice. I'll use both, or not jag, a brush. The brush cleans it out, the gunk out of there pretty nice, and as you can tell by the end of the brush, I also take patches and run my patches down there. Okay, you can see I've got a towel under my hot soapy water here. That's to help clean up any messes, and as we make dirty patches, we can just toss them on the towel and pick them up later. So I stick the breech end fully submerge it into the water. I'll take a patch, put that over the end of the barrel, and I'll suck up water into the barrel. Okay, we've got some water in the barrel now. And we're starting with that ropey brush. Get it wet. If it sounds harsh, that's because it is. This gun has a very rough bore. Thankfully, we don't got to use much of this brush. Give it a rinse off. Off it comes. And on the brass bristle brush, or copper bristle brush. Get you guys up here, see some action. Okay, now that we got all the fouling loose, floating around there, we're going to take our first patch, put it on the end here, kind of get it gripped into those threads. Give it a soak in water. Run it down kind of slow like. Let it sit, let everything equalize. And we're going to pull this up as fast and hard as we can, just once, to suck up water in the barrel. Now we're going to let that equalize. Up again. And down fast. That'll help pull water up above the patch in the jag. Or patch in the brush, I should say. Go first, dirty patch. And we're going to repeat this process of wet patches until they start to come out kind of dry or kind of clear. Like you see a hard dark line and kind of a mottled. Once it starts looking mottled, we're going to switch over to dry patches. Pull the barrel out of the water and start running, well, first wet patches and then our dry patches. Just like that. Mottled. So we'll pull this off. And now we are done with the first bucket. The water is all sooty now. Not at all what we want from here on out. Throw in a new patch. Dunk that in the clean water. Remove our barrel from the dirty water. Make sure there's no water in there. Now, keep in mind there's still going to be water in the patent breech. So we'll run a wet patch And that is looking very good. Now before we get too far, we're going to clean that patent breach with our 30 cal brush. 30 cal 7.62 millimeter. Go. Get that nice good scrubbing. Grab ourselves a patch. Wet it. Down it goes. Go, that's pretty good. Now we are going to switch over to dry patches. These patches are just old shirt. And now we are clean. So now we'll switch back to our shotgun brush. Put a dry patch on. And there we have it. I'm pulling out clean patches. Okay, now we're going to turn our attention to the outside of the barrel here. First things first, we're going to take a toothpick and clean out this touch hole. Make sure that's clear. Touch hole's clear. We're going to take a patch and clean water. We're going to scrub the breech area of our barrel. Be careful around the touch hole. We're going to just get around that. Be careful not to squeeze any water in there. That's kind of dirty. Get a new one. You could use a toothbrush for this also. I just prefer to use cleaning patches because they're cheap and easy to make, and I have a bunch of them. Okay, now that we got that wiped down, take a dry patch. Scrub that area clean. Get a little bit of dampness on this. Get around that touch hole a little better. Now we're going to take a patch and rub down the rest of the barrel. I'm going to get all the old grease I put on it off, all the old oil off. So that way I can put on new stuff. Okay, barrel's clean. Set that up there. And now we'll turn our attention towards the lock. Okay, we'll take a patch, put it in the clean water. And I don't disassemble my lock for this every time. I will about every third time I shoot the gun. And if I don't shoot the gun, I will do it once a year when I clean all my guns. I give all my guns a thorough cleaning once a year. So get the pan, get the bottom of the frizzen. Make sure you get the face of the frizzen under the cock. I get in between the jaws, on top of the jaw. Don't forget the turn screw here. That collects a lot of fouling. I'm wetting these patches and I'm giving them a squeeze out so they're just damp. I don't want water to flow underneath all these intricate parts here. For anybody who wants to know what the inside of an India lock looks like, they are big, fat, and beefy, everything on these. Very heavy trigger pull. Take a toothpick and get down in here. And down in here. I should be more clear. So we're getting down where the frizzen sits and right here. Oop. Right here. That's where fouling likes to collect on this one. And now that is free of gunk. Take a dry patch. Wipe everything down. And with the dry patch, I will get into all the cracks and crevices that I can. Okay, there is the lock cleaned. Like I said, the Flint, quite grimy. Wet cleaning patch. Wipe it off. That's pretty good. It's a rock. It'll never corrode, but yeah, I don't like to leave them dirty. Now we'll come back to this in a minute when we redress it. Leather's got some powder fouling on it. This is still a little bit damp from cleaning the frizzen. So we'll just pull off some of that loose powder residue. There we go. And then with that same patch, just clean up our wood a little bit from powder residue. There we go. I remember the key reason why I told you pins, when they're removed, go from right to left. You see this? There's a flat smushed in there to make it a little bit wider. If you tried to remove that the wrong way, i.e. push it through left to right, it would never make it through the trunnion, the holder on the lug on the underside of the barrel. It would just jam in there and you'd have a heck of a time getting it back out. And you damage the pin, damage the stock, damage that lug if you try to continue to force it through this way. Okay, so we got our oil here. And this is CLP, for anybody that's wondering. Oil the inside of this bore. And this patch, when I pull it out, it may look dirty, but it's not. That's just going to be graphite from the black powder grains. They coat, modern black powder is coated in graphite to make it less prone to static electricity setting it off. Okay, inside of our barrel is oiled. Peel that patch off. And we're going to use the same patch and oil the barrel. old barrel in the stock. Now it is time for the tang screw once again. Put a few drops of oil on the operating parts of our lock. And I put a drop inside the V of all the springs. Just to deal with any moisture that may have gotten under there. Put a drop down into the cock. And we still have our same oily cleaning patch. We're just going to hit the entire surface of this guy. Lock back. Let's get you down here to the action. I apologize. I just slipped and hit my nice brass dragony thing here. Ivy, I need you to move, okay? That's exactly why you want to use proper screwdrivers for your firearms. There we go. That's on. Draw off my hands a little bit. Check the lock for proper function. Here we are. That is the firearm mostly assembled. Turn that back so it's properly indexed for our cleaning rod. Okay. Now the flint. Let me go get my flint knapping things and I will return. Okay, I got my flint knapping things. We have a deer antler tine that has a point on it. This is just a bunch of denim inside an old pocket that I use for my knapping pad. And here is our flint. Here is the edge that contacts the frizzen, and you'll see it is pretty blunt. It comes right in the middle. What we want is to drive this edge all the way this way. I like it to sit with this up. The edge we want up goes up on our pad. What we're going to do is hold it with the palm of our hand down against this pad. Push in and down on our piece of chert here. This is a piece of Texas chert. Got a hard spot there. We'll skip it. And what we're doing is we're taking these tiny flakes off the bottom of this rock. And what that's doing is, since it's removing material on the bottom, pushing that edge back up. But I'm going through, and like I said, this is a biface, and what biface means is it's got flakes on this side and flakes on this side. Commercial gun flints or gun flints as a whole are made from something called a core, where you have a circular piece of rock, you flatten it on top, and you take it and you strike off here and here and here and here, and you just keep going in circles, and that gives you kind of trapezoidal shaped flints, long flint blades that you then break up with pliers, you like grab it with your plier and then break it off, and that's your gun flint. That's how gun flints are made, from a core. But you don't need one of those. You can use a biface just fine, but as you saw in the shooting video, they do require maintenance. Word of warning, these flakes are razor sharp. I'm depositing them onto my towel, which I will then shake out at the edge of my yard. Now, if I get to a place that just does not want to pop, then what I'm going to do is flip it over and try it that way. Or if you have a wiggle in your edge, like, I don't know if you can see, it's straight and then it wiggles around here before coming back. I've got it flipped so the bottom is towards me now. And I'm going to take a flake or two to drop that line back down before I continue bringing the rest of the edge up. There we go. We have pretty much straight line all the way across, and it's above the center line, as high as it's going to get. I got a little here on the edge below where I want it to be, and it is mostly even. Here's a little piggle I need to take out. There we go. Flat this way, on the upper plane this way that we want. Now we can put it back into the cock. Here's our piece of leather. You see it's got a hole punched in the center. That's so when you fold it, you have more space for your screw, your turn screw. There we go. I can feel the flint against the turn screw. I keep saying flint, this is chert. Okay, now I've got it hand tight. I'm going to set that down, slowly let this come forward. And I'm going to let the flint align itself onto the frizzen. And tighten it down a bit before flipping to half cock and finishing tightening. Okay, I'm going to put that down full. Make sure it didn't shift on us at all. It didn't. Now let's see how I did. Perfect. There we go. One cleaned and reassembled flintlock.